Hey guys, we're live with Local Vibes. We're here with Heath Redman from AML Roofing and Restoration, and he is a fairly new client on our system, our Justine, the lead machine system. So we kind of wanted to talk about, how you got into your business, how you even got started, period, and, how you've learned to grow it and things like that. So we'll go over all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, let's just start off on what is, who are you, what's your business?
Yep, my name's
Heath.
Heath.
We'll go from there.
Heath Redman, AML Roofing and Restoration. I have a 5-year-old daughter. That's why I'm scruffy right now. She wanted me
Tell us why.
She wants me to be a werewolf for Halloween. She wants to go as a werewolf family, so I had to grow it out.
So when you guys go trick-or-treating, that's what she wanted you to do?
Yeah, so Saturday for the zoo. Excuse me. She wants to dress up as werewolf.
I think it's great.
I think you're going to be there. You're good.
Yeah.
So what about the cousin? Is she going to do it too? Your brother and cousin?
No, they're not going to go down. I don't know what. They have something else going on. I can't remember. Jason and his boys are going to go, though.
What are they dressing up?
I don't know yet.
That'll be good. So then, I know because we've talked, you guys like to do that haunted hoochie.
Yeah.
So are you guys going to dress like that when you go there?
She probably will. They actually have the kids trick-or-treating tonight out there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they turn all the lights on and the kids dress up and walk around and get candy from monsters.
Cool.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Based on all I could tell that you liked that sort of stuff because your whole wall or your Facebook wall and stuff like that, or all your pictures are kind of like that. And it's fun.
Yeah.
Like dark.
Oh, yeah.
You look at me like, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm running the machine over here. I can't multitask.
Okay, so the name of the business is based off of your daughter, correct?
Yeah.
Her name?
Yep. AML stands for Ada Marie Lynn. It's my daughter. She's 5. So.
Mm-hmm. That's
so
cool.
She's your why.
She is my why. Yep. I don't know if we can just keep going.
Yeah.
All right.
Of course. You say whatever you want.
Yeah, it kind of just leads into how I got started. So I was at the bank for around 10 years, Chase. I was a mortgage banker for the last few years, real stressful, a lot of hours. And I found out that my wife at the time was pregnant. So I was like, there's no way that I'm going to work 70 hours a week and have a child. I was like, there's no way. Money was great. I actually didn't mind the job, but I just went home from work that day and told her I was quitting the next day. And that's pretty much how I left that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I came home and she had gotten off work early that day, and I was like, I think I just quit. She's like, what? I go, I think I'm quitting. I was like, you're pregnant. I don't want to spend all this time at work and not see the kid. And she thought I was crazy, but...
Well, decent money.
Really good money. Yeah, it was really good money. It was hard to walk away from that.
Yeah.
I just remember growing up and spending time with the family. When my dad and mom had to work a lot, they couldn't make it to a lot of our stuff because of work. And I'm like, I'm just not going to let that happen. Mm-hmm. So.
Sounds a little familiar, doesn't it?
Family's important around here.
Yeah. So yeah, I quit, and we had saved up a little bit of money, nice nest egg, so I didn't have to rush out and find anything because I had no idea what the heck I was going to do.
Yeah. No
clue. I mean, I'd been
How old were you at that point?
It was 2000. Probably around 30, 31.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think I just turned 32. Somewhere around there. Early 30s. And we were at dinner one night. I was talking to her. She's like, well, just take your time, kind of figure out what we want to do. And I had no clue, know where to even start. And we were at dinner, and a guy had overheard me talking. We had a conversation about what our future held and what I was going to do for work.
Oh, at dinner somebody overheard that?
Yeah. So we were just hanging out. waiting for food, and he's like, have you ever thought about selling roofs? He's like, I'm not trying to interrupt, but he's like, I heard your experience with sales and mortgages. He's like, have you ever sold roofs? I'm like, no, that sounds kind of crazy to me. He's like, I'm telling you, you can make more money selling roofs than you did as a mortgage banker. I was like, I don't believe that at all.
Yeah.
So fast forward a few weeks, I met the owner of the company. They showed me like probably 2 weeks worth of training. And I went out and sold roofs, and I did really, really well. Really well. Made more money than I did in banking the first couple months. So
that had to feel good.
It felt great because I had no idea what I was going to do. And we have this baby coming.
And you made the right choice.
I got to figure something out. So I think, it was just a timing thing. I think things happen the way they're supposed to, and it just worked out really well. It didn't work out with that company, but the job was great.
Did that guy own the company, or is he just?
No, he didn't. He was just one of the project managers. Yep. So,
is it still around today?
No. I left, and I think
you left, and it all went to hell.
Well, it was funny because they said like when I quit, they owed me a lot of money, and they just couldn't pay. They were out living this lavish lifestyle, but they couldn't pay me the money that was owed. So I was like, you know what? I can do this myself. This is such an easy business model. Like anyone can do it. So I just started my own. I quit. I gave them 2 weeks. I was trying to be nice about it. And they're like, no, you can, that's your last day. Because, I mean, we were 1099, so I didn't get paid hourly. And lost my train of thought.
What in your background do you think made you think, fuck it, I can do it myself? Because that's something we talk about a lot, especially now construction. Everybody's booked solid.
Right.
Like everything my kids have ever done, I'm like, yeah, I made a bunch of money doing this. My response is always, what'd the owner make?
Right.
Oh, shit. And that's when you said that, that's the way I think.
Right.
There's a bunch of money there. I wonder if I could do it myself. What do you think made you take that jump? Because you were just an employee selling insurance and roofs.
Yeah, because I think I learned the whole process pretty quick, like how the operation worked. They just put a lot of responsibility on us as project managers. So by them doing that, kind of just
set you up.
Books. It set me up to just, why am I working for you guys and I'm making, $20,000 a month when I could be making 60, 70, just doing the same stuff I'm doing now. I mean, there's obviously more responsibility,
more risk, but not
insurances and stuff like that. But it was worth it
for sure.
See, I think that was in 2017 or 18. My daughter's mom and we went through divorce, split up. So I had to let the business go just until that process was taken care of. And then I started up AML Roofing last December. I was working for another roofing company as a project manager.
I don't think I realized it was that new.
Yeah. I worked for a company called Liberty Restoration. They're out of Dublin. Same thing was happening. I mean, this was a legitimate company. They paid us W-2 plus commission. Great. But they stopped paying like around Christmas time, the week before Christmas. I didn't get a paycheck.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, there is no freaking, I go, dude, I have a daughter. I'm a single dad. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and a week before Christmas, I don't get any pay. My base pay or commission.
When you were expecting that. How? Oh.
The Grinch.
Yeah, so I did the same exact thing. Literally the exact same thing I did to the last company. I walked in, I was like, hey, I'm done. He's like, well, when you leave, you lose all your commission. You don't get. I was like, I haven't been getting paid anyway, so I'm not missing out.
What a threat, dude. What a threat.
Yeah.
I'm going to not pay you longer.
I know. So I started my business, AML Roofing, on December 25th. That was Christmas Day.
Did
Ada
you?
had just gone to her mom's, and I'm like, I'm doing this today. So that's how I got started again.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know that. I didn't know you started it on Christmas Day. And
Yep.
I do think I remember you telling me something about not getting that last paycheck before Christmas.
Yes.
How a company can do that?
I don't know.
I don't get
and
it.
live with themselves. It's horrible.
Even to say, oh, okay, we'll give you $500 or whatever to go buy presents for your daughter. Oh my God.
And this guy he has 4 houses. Yeah. I mean, he's got money.
So is that business still?
I'm sensing a theme.
Holy cow. Karma. It comes back.
It is 100%. They've done some horrible things to homeowners. Like, I just don't know how people can do things like that. Mm-hmm. Just take their money and literally not do any of the work.
That's so funny. We hear that, and I hear it now because I'm talking to so many businesses, and then I basically consult a lot of people that we do this stuff for. And I have a woman and her young daughter, they have an online store, and how they're getting taken advantage of from influencers. Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable. And photographers and videographers are just taking advantage of this poor young girl and her mom over and over again. So it's sad. It just makes you wonder, why? Why are these people doing this?
Yeah, I don't get it at all. I mean, I don't know how there's not some serious legal stuff going on with these companies. There has to be. I mean, it's their business to worry about, but I don't think they'll be around much longer. They actually did my ex-girlfriend's roof on her house. Mm-hmm. I had been working on getting this thing approved for like 6 months. They kept saying installation error, a bunch of little caveats to get out of paying for a roof. Finally get it covered. They took her money, and it was months before she got her actual roof put on. And it wasn't because we were busy. They weren't building roofs every day. It was just they didn't have the money. They were basically taking money from
the business,
other people to complete other jobs.
It just turned into a Ponzi scheme. They're using that money to pay to buy the next stuff that just keeps going and going.
Yeah,
and I know that happens a lot, and that's what those the fly by night people get, that reputation for not doing what you say you're going to do.
Okay, so you decided on December 25th, I'm doing this. So then, how did you start?
It happened so fast. Mm-hmm. I just remember pulling up the computer, filing my LLC paperwork. I mean, all that stuff was done in a couple days. We had everything ready to go. But then I was like, man, I don't even have my old contracts. I don't have anything. So I kind of freaked out for a little. But I found a folder that I had original copies of all my old stuff.
Oh.
So I was like, yeah, that's perfect. Just changed up the logo and stuff, and good to go. So yeah, I mean, that's how it started. We, a new company. To get leads is obviously the hardest part. The insurance, working with insurance, getting people, approved and things like that's easy. But like actually getting leads to inspect the houses is the hardest part.
So how did you guys start doing that when you began?
When we started, we had me and Jason went out and just knocked doors. We'd pick a neighborhood and walk the streets, and we got a few that way. And then as we got a Facebook page, you guys helping out with that stuff, making us visible, kind of helped, like catapulted. Like we weren't seen. I didn't have a Facebook page. I had nothing until I met you guys.
Did you have your Google business profile? I can't remember. No, you didn't, did you?
I didn't have that set up. I had no idea how to be seen.
Yeah.
You had a website.
Yeah, but
I remember looking at it, being like,
yeah. Well, we had a different logo.
Yes, you did.
Because I wanted some crazy tattoo artist to make me a monogram logo, which was cool to me, but you couldn't understand what the heck.
No, you couldn't read it. And I remember telling you that. I'm like, do you maybe want to redo your logo?
Well, I was like, do you guys do you know anyone that does logos? And you're like, actually, I do. She's like, yeah, I can do that for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, besides knocking doors, you were just waiting on word of mouth, hoping and praying?
Yep. When it's the hardest things you don't have. I mean, and to be honest, it's a lot of money you're dealing with. So people don't always like to just hand over $15,000, $20,000. So until you have that reputation or can be seen like on Google and Facebook with positive reviews.
Yeah, for sure. And I can tell, I mean, from experience, you're our customer we're your customer. You know, once we met and, you know, we had somebody door knocked because there was a storm here and we had one shingle off and somebody door knocked and I didn't know who to call. And we know a few guys and we had a friend, but I had to like beg him to come. I told that guy, I'm like, hey, I got somebody. Yeah. We'll talk about it. I didn't even realize we had a shingle off really. And then he came and he got up and he didn't do much. You know, he didn't explain to me. I didn't know, you know, this is something everybody should know. If you wait too long to get the inspection, they're not going to cover it.
Yep.
That makes no sense to me, but they're saying, get your damn roof inspected.
Right.
So, you know, when all these ads are going out and I didn't know until I met you guys have software, you know, when there's a hailstorm, you know where it's at, right?
Yep.
And the reason is because you can go knock those doors and tell people, but I don't think people understand because our entire neighborhood has been re-roofed, I think, in the last year.
Oh yeah. I think every time I drive down through here, there's someone getting a new roof. Yep. People across the street just got one.
I know.
And maybe you would have gotten a lot more had we had a yard sign.
I hear it.
But that's something I didn't know. You know, I thought I need a shingle. And then you educated me saying, yes, but, you know, there's other damage, which the other guy didn't tell me. He just said, oh, yeah, it's off.
Yeah.
You guys go up there and mark with chalk every shingle that's lifted, every hail mark, any problem you find, and take a picture of it. Because luckily it worked out, but my adjuster came and just kind of said, yeah, there's a few shingles we need to repair.
Yeah.
I had my fingers crossed because it's a 20-year-old roof.
Right.
And I know that money's coming out of my pocket soon. But, you know, I'm just telling the story for other people to say, you know, what happened was since the roof is so old, you can't match shingles. Is that correct?
Yeah. So that, I think your specific shingle, they don't make that dimension anymore. So it's a discontinued shingle. When that happens, typically insurance, they can't repair it because there's not one to repair it with.
Right. And that's what they told me. They said, and I wasn't arguing with it. It was just going to be what it's going to be.
Right.
You know, that's kind of the way I am. They said, we just need to replace, since it had a circle, you know, of shingles that were repaired, we need to replace that slope. The rest of it is good enough.
Right.
But since they couldn't match it because of the insurance that I had, luckily it got replaced, all of it. So I'm telling that long story to say, when they offer you a free inspection, get a free inspection.
Yeah, I mean, people have no idea. I mean,
I've never been on my roof in my life.
Yeah, how often are you on your roof?
I've never been on this one, 20 years.
Yeah, so you have no clue if there's damage or not, and it's hard to see it from the ground. So just get a free inspection. We'll let you know if it's good. If not, and we'll follow the process to get everything fixed.
And you guys did that.
Well, that other guy we had was not helpful at all. That was a big difference with you guys, is you were helpful and explained things, and that made a big difference. For sure.
We try to be transparent because the whole process can get confusing. I mean, even the paperwork is so jarred around and it's hard to follow.
It was all new to me, and you know, they cut a little bit of a check, and then you have to call. My bank's not local, so I had to find out on hold and you know, press this for this, and you know, going through the phone tree to finally find out how to get them to sign off on the check, which ended up being I had to deposit it with them and then they give it back. But it took how long?
Forever.
It took forever. And then you come and do the work, and then to get the final payment, you got to do the same thing, and it takes, you know, a long time. So you guys are dealing with waiting on money a lot.
It's never ending. I mean, it's hard to manage. I think that's why a lot of people that start these businesses, they don't really last because the money management side of it's difficult. I mean, you're waiting on $20,000-$30,000 of stuff that you've already paid for, and you're waiting for that stuff to come in.
And I guess it's not an excuse, but those other companies you talk about, it's probably what happened. They got backed up, and somebody didn't pay them, and they had to use this money to pay, and it just gets snowballed and out of control. And if you screw up, you're in trouble.
Yes, I mean, I was waiting on a $27,000 check from one we did in July. I think it took 60 some days to get to me.
After you did the work.
After
you paid
was done
for all the labor and the shingles and materials.
Yes, everything.
So now has Justine helped you in terms of communication with people, of keeping track of that?
Yeah, so I used to I still use an school spreadsheet to track some stuff, but it's just more like operation side. Justine it allows me to keep things way more organized. I need to get better at updating my contact list in there, so I can send out those reviews like you showed me the other day.
Yep.
Review requests, but
yeah,
I think once I have that filled out, I think I have a solid base. I can communicate with them a lot easier.
Have you noticed any difference with your website from, before to now? I mean, do you get more from it, or, do people say more about it? And is it easier than what it was using your old one?
Yeah, the old one it was horrible. It was like, I had no, it really didn't give me any data. I couldn't really.
No way for people to contact you easily, was it?
Horrible. I mean, you searched my name, and I think it popped up like a little blue square with a question mark. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yep.
But no, I got you guys. I got Kip. He does our gutters. And I was out at my aunt's house. They got hit by a tornado in Lancaster earlier this year.
Oh, really?
And the whole street got destroyed. But we were doing gutters on her house. And that was the first time I met Kip, actually. Up until then, I just talked to him on the phone. And he's like, what's your website look like? And I was like, that's an odd question. He goes, what's it look like? He's like, check mine out. And he was like, yeah, my friends Pat and Angie, they did this site for me. He's like, dude, it is so, like, from what he had before to now, he's like, it's a night and day difference. And I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, my site looks like crap. And it just wasn't easy to follow. No, content was okay, but it was not anything good.
That's one of our main things. I mean, she's a great designer. She can design anything, fancy, complicated, but with what you guys do, when somebody needs a roof, they need a way to contact you, and it needs to be.
And call to action's got to be right.
Some people want to call you. Some people want to text you. Some people want to fill out a form. Some people want to email you. Who the hell cares?
Right.
But if they got to look for it and there's no information and it's an ugly site, you don't have any reviews, they're just going to go to the next guy.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I try to put myself in the consumer's shoes. Like when I'm going out to a restaurant, what's the first thing I do? If I haven't been there before, I'll look up the reviews.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do it all the time.
Yeah. So I know I needed to get those reviews, and finally they're starting to come in. That's because of me. I haven't been sending them out like I should. I'm busy working. But the site, I got compliments. I sent it out to all my family and friends, and they just were like blown away with how it looked. I was really happy.
Who's the guy on it? I got it up here. Look, I recognize that guy. Is he
definitely
like the young
looking?
Is he the young werewolf?
Jeez, man, I look like a child there.
That's hilarious.
Here, we'll scroll up
so they don't see.
Yeah, get him off there.
But yeah, you didn't have. I mean, for people who are watching this, I mean, if you look, we've got your call to action like forward right there, and then we're also telling people, just as a tip for anybody watching this that has a website and are not with us, you really want to make sure you're solving a problem or telling people why, if they're there, they can trust you, so that you're going to solve that problem that they're looking for. And so that's what we try to do, because like on the phone, if they can't find that right away, if you're not answering that problem and there's not a button to call you, they're going to go to the next guy.
Absolutely.
It's so easy to do that.
Yep.
And I think we stand out. It's something that we've learned, that picture, we're laughing about you, but you are the company. I feel we push everybody, our own business. It's Angie and me out front. We're making videos, our pictures all over the place, our social media, it's our picture, because when they call in, they're talking to us. And when we do the work, we do the work. People want to buy from people they know, like, and trust. I hate getting to a website that, like web designers are notorious for it. Our team does this, and there's no name on it anywhere. There's no picture. Right. Your team is you.
Yeah.
But and that's fine, but own it. This is my company, and you put your face on it, and that's why she does that, and it works because.
Same with Perry's is that way, and Kip.
Yep.
We've got Kip on there too. I don't know if Kip's on his on the. Yeah, he
I think
is, isn't he? I know I've got him on his social share card, but I can't remember if I have Kip on the page. I'm gonna have to look at that. I'm gonna have to look at that. I'll have to change that.
Yep, you're really good too, because Ada took that picture of me.
Yeah,
and you've made it look, and you even put the logo on it because I didn't have my shirts made yet with the new logo.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it looks great.
Now I'll tell you something else. What's really funny? We did this for our buddy Perry McClurg, who will be on this hopefully soon too. He's the pressure washer, but we're in a group of a bunch of friends, and our friend next door, the mayor, he's got like a fat head of him.
He like took that picture. It's him in a flannel shirt. It's just like that. He's crossed arms, flannel shirt, and they made a fat head of it.
It's hilarious.
That's awesome.
And that's
everybody posts pictures of it.
Whenever we joke around with him or have something funny, somebody will always like share that image of
Zoom
Perry
in on his face real big.
I love it.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, that's our secret sauce is we put faces on it and we make it easy to use. It doesn't have to be 1,000 pages, and you've got the stuff that's working in the back end, the SEO stuff that takes time, but it's kind of marinating, and you're going to be in more than just Columbus because you're 50 miles,
right?
60 miles.
You have dabbled in the ads, I will say.
Yes, we did. Yeah, I mean, with the whole SEO thing and the way you guys set that up for me, I had no clue where to start.
Yeah.
No idea. I was like, I need to be visible on Google and for people to see this. And I'm like, I don't have no clue. So when did you call me? I think Kip gave you my number. I don't know. One of you guys.
I'm sure I probably reached out.
Yeah. So, after we had our first meeting with Jason at the restaurant.
At Three Tigers?
Yes, Three Tigers.
With a few beverages.
Like 3 hours long.
Yes.
His wife was yelling at him. She's like, there's no way, you guys. I'm like, yes, we just talk the whole time.
And well, I mean, that's my point. We love doing that because you got to know us.
Yeah.
It's not, you didn't have a website saying our team can do this for you. I mean,
exactly.
We'll drink a beer or 5 with you and, and have a good time.
That was a good time.
We learned a lot about each other that day.
We did. And I told Jason when we left that meeting, he called me like as soon as he got in the car, and we were just talking about everything. I was like, I'm going to do this. It was like, those people are the reason. Like, they just seem genuine. You guys are. But I was like, they seem like genuine people, and I'd rather do that than, like you said, go through some bot that I'll never even meet them.
Or giant company.
Yeah.
Yes.
We deal with a lot of them. I mean, part of the big ones, the biggest one around here is local, but there's so many. I mean, all of them, they're tied to what used to be Yellow Pages, which was bought. One of them, Haibu, Dex. I mean, they
don't
keep
even
changing.
realize that.
They're not even owned by Americans anymore. They're European countries that they keep rebranding and have these. Oh, we're a marketing company now that's tied to the paper that's owned by a European company, and they can do what they can do. Everybody does the same stuff, but we're Local Vibes. We're all about local and doing business with local people. And I hate when people spend money at somebody in Europe,
right?
Or
worse.
It drives us crazy. And it's hard because there's so many of those people that are. I was just talking to another marketer actually a little bit before this that we've been talking back and forth just of how difficult it is doing what we do, trying to find contractors and people like you, because you guys are inundated with people like me getting in touch with you.
From the entire world.
Yes, from the entire world. And it's very hard because I have over 25 years of experience, and that's what I was telling this marketer guy who's only been doing it for maybe a year. I'm like, dude, I've got 25 years of experience. We know what to do. We know what businesses need, and it's so hard to get in front of them. So hard. Because just to get them to trust me is the hard part.
Well, it's just to get them to talk to you because you get how many phone calls, from Google or, I can fix your map and,
Which I tell you to put that in your phone, but they have so many Google numbers that every time you put that in your phone that it's Google, and they're not all, change.
They're usually not Google. They say they work for Google, but, it's, and that's, I mean, when I say all over the world, I mean, you can tell when you answer.
Oh yeah,
they're not from here, and they're trying to take your money. So we try to tell people be careful, because we've had some people taken.
I can see how that could happen pretty easily. I mean,
I had the story I've told before. I had one where I know better, and I'm really, really, really careful.
I remember that.
And I was this close from, because I'm like, this is Google.
Legit.
Because they had been calling a woman that owned a service business, garage doors.
One of our clients.
When we were working on their Google business page. So it just lined up. They used the name of somebody at Google that matched the name. That's it. Somebody and it ended up they were not.
Oh
with
my
Google.
gosh!
And I mean, they were.
I can't remember how you figured that out.
It was she like literally called, added me to the phone call. Hey, this is what's going on. And I'm asking, I'm talking. I'm like, oh yeah, there's the name. There's this. She knew all about that.
Verifying everything.
I'm verifying everything. And then I forget what it was. It's been a long time ago, but I asked something and it didn't jive. And I'm just like that, not bragging, but I know a lot of shit. I'm like, this doesn't feel right. And I started digging into him, and then he was like backtracking.
Yeah.
And I told her, I'm like, man, I was damn close to saying, just give him your money. And it was not real.
It's horrible.
And there's no way that anybody that didn't have even a little bit of experience that we deal with that all the time just would have paid it and taken.
I would have.
Yeah. Like I said, I was really close. I've probably done it before without knowing it, but I was close.
Oh, we get stuff like that all the time. And then if you ever, this is to help you and to help other people, if you get Domain Registry of America in the mail, if you get talking about your domain names up and you need to renew it, don't do it. They're sending it out to everybody, trying to get people to move it to their domain registry.
And they charge you double.
Yeah. And there's a new one now with Facebook too. If you get a Facebook message saying that, what is it? You're out
of compliance.
Yeah, you're out of compliance.
I sent that to you because I'm like, man, what is going on? Copyright for photos or something?
Ignore it.
I'm like, and it looks legit.
I'm actually going to, today, since I'm all set up here, I'm making a video telling everybody this is what they look like. They look like they're coming from Facebook. I have no idea why Facebook, all the stuff that they block and filter and censor. You can't block a message saying, hey, I'm Facebook. And I'm like, I don't. Yeah, there's a reason, but there's so many of them. I've literally gotten, just like you, 10 people saying, hey, is this real? I'm like, no, don't click on anything.
Because it looks legit. So
yeah, and just, they'll email you. If there's an issue, Facebook will email you I don't think they use Messenger at all, like for those type, because they want the admin to see it.
Right.
Okay. So now to change the subject a little bit.
Back on track.
Let's transition to, you're not quite a year, or you're not quite a year yet.
Christmas.
Christmas will be a year. So why don't you tell us, first off, tell us about an experience you've had with your best experience so far with roofing. Do you have any type of story that's cool?
Not really.
Any type of client
kind of boring stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
So where do you go from here?
Yeah.
What are your plans? What are your goals, dreams?
Well,
where do you see the company in 5 years?
Yeah, so I don't want to get huge by any means. I have one project manager that works for me now, works with me. His name's Jason.
And he's awesome.
He's great. I don't know. I don't want to get too big, so maybe one more project manager and things would be really good. Mm-hmm. Realistically, my goal would be to do at least one house every day of the week. So to hit those numbers, I got to do some more marketing with you guys. Mm-hmm. Like you said in the beginning, when we did the marketing campaign, it's new, and our niche, our industry is saturated with high rollers. These guys have tons of money they can just dump into marketing and stuff. And I know why it's so expensive because, there's so
because
many
of
people.
that.
Yeah.
We've talked to somebody that worked with, maybe it was Jason. Did he used to work for one of the big ones? Somebody we talked to recently, and they were saying, easily they're spending $100,000 a month.
Oh yeah, Jason. It was Jason.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to compete with when you're two guys.
Exactly. So I like it keeping it on a smaller scale. Keep it simple business model and
a local model.
So the marketing we did do with you guys, we had just like with any marketing, you're gonna get jumped,
tire kickers, and then people trying to steal your guys' job. Yeah.
I know that happens all the time.
It is 100%. Somebody we just did, the first lead they got was from Angie's List. I'm like, it may have been you guys. It was a brand new website. It wasn't you guys, because I remember it was a brand new domain, brand new website, been up for a minute. And I ran an ad, and those suckers called on day one because they just saw the ad, clicked on it, and said, "Hey, they're spending money on ads. Mm-hmm. I'm going to snipe them." And I was like, but that's the way that. So that's their prospect. That's their door knocking.
It is. When we did the marketing, like you kind of explained how we would target certain areas when we had a hailstorm come through, end of July, and I'd asked you to hit Westerville, Gahanna area, and out of that campaign, we actually have someone, and we don't technically have him in contract. Tomorrow we should. Actually, we do have him in contract. I lied. But
that takes a long time.
It is.
That's been a while ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, we had to schedule the inspection, go out and do it, and then they had something going on with their insurance. Her husband's active duty military, so he was trying to time it to where he could be there because he was overseas. It took probably 2.5 months, maybe.
Wow.
But finally got him approved. Roof, siding, gutters.
Oh, wow.
Windows, 2 windows in the back. Shutters. Yeah.
It's a hell of a storm.
Yeah.
Dang.
Crazy. So with the investment that we had spent initially to do
and that's what it takes a while,
mm-hmm.
And that's when we tell you, it doesn't matter, if you're paying me to do it, you're doing it yourself. You've got the system now that you just have to stay in front of people.
Yeah.
And, it starts out by knocking on doors.
Right.
But they see your truck, they see your signs, they see your guys, they see you, in your logos, they see your ads, they see your posts. I mean, it all just.
They might see your signs.
Funny.
I'm just giving him a bunch of crap because I've asked for a yard sign for him and he keeps forgetting it.
Do you do any mailers or anything, or are you still?
I haven't done anything like that. I'm trying to think of I shouldn't do this because I know not everyone thinks the way I do, but I always put myself if I get paper in the mail, I usually don't pay attention to it. I just throw it away.
That's how you have to think about it.
Okay. Yeah. So I haven't done anything like that, but to go back to it, that one job more than doubled what we invested to run the marketing. So up front initially it was kind of a shock. New business. Yeah. It's a lot of money.
Yep.
I'm a single dad.
Yeah.
It's rough now. But it was worth it.
But you saw the value.
Yeah. And there's tons of value there.
Once the business gets going more, that there's value in that and you'll do it.
For sure.
Yep.
Well, there's, just how long it takes. People need to see you over and over and over again. How that happens doesn't matter. That's all marketing. Some marketing costs money. Some marketing costs time. You don't have to pay me to market, but you usually just got to market.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of guys that sit around and say, 90% of the people we talk to, word of mouth is the number one marketing. There's nothing better than good word of mouth, but how do you get more? You just got to wait, and some people die waiting, so you can't.
Especially
just wait.
with you guys, your jobs are so big, so it's not like you're doing 10 jobs a day. That word of mouth, there's times 10. You don't have that. You've got one person that you hope will tell at least one more person, and that's hard. And you cannot. You can't live off of thinking that that's going to bring you all these new clients. It's just too hard. Oh, we'll show you a way, since wintertime is a little bit slower for you guys, you and Jason. I've got I've got ideas for you guys that can at least help. And it's using the social media planner in Justine can help, it can help schedule things and schedule posts that can run recurring. So when you guys take the time, and get a month ready to go of even like tips and tricks for people for around their house and taking care of the roof and all that.
How seasonal is it? I know you can't work in ice, but is there still damage in the winter?
Yeah, so a lot of...
Oh, yeah, of course there would be.
Yeah, so like ice dam, like the gutters, when they fill up, the water can sometimes back up, basically. So we would get a lot of calls for like leaking, and people think they have true damage when really it's just, ice damming. But in the wintertime, it's mainly for that. But while we're up there, we usually find out that there's a lot more going on than just that little area.
So you guys really technically are kind of year round.
Yeah.
Your crews still work? I mean, if there's a day they can get a roof on,
yeah, if we're 40 degrees and up,
they'll that's work. Good.
So last year we did our first, I think it was in January, like January 5th or something.
Started on Christmas Day and January 5th doing a roof.
Yeah.
How did you find Jason?
He worked with me at the last company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a project manager there. He was actually a teacher for 10 years prior to that. Just completely crazy.
How do you take a teacher to teach him how to sell?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's his buddy owned that company, I think. Or they went to school together. So he gave it a shot. He's been trying to get him on, and the same thing was happening with him. He wasn't getting paid, so he's like, he has 3 kids. So he's like, I gotta have some money coming in somehow.
It kind of helps when you've got that as an incentive.
Yeah.
Or
if you got a strong
I don't know
why.
if I call it incentive, but
responsibility.
That's the way it was for us when we first started. We
Sink
had
or swim.
the same why.
I had something, I just lost it.
We do that quite often. That's what happens when you get to our age.
I was thinking about Jason, just going from teaching to selling is just a huge, huge jump. And I guess, it shouldn't be too hard to find good project managers when you're ready to say, hey, we actually pay you.
Yeah. And it's funny. Because
whether they believe it or not, I guess, after how many other people don't, but that's a pretty good incentive is to actually get paid.
Yeah. And that was the first thing out of my mouth when I interviewed for that last company. They hired me on to be like the regional manager over all the project managers. I get an offer letter in the mail or through email, and I pull it up. I'm like, this is for $50,000 plus commission. This is not what we had discussed. It was like, 6-figure salary with these requests, and they agreed on all that. Then I get an offer letter for $50,000 and plus commission. So I should have known then. I should have known then. I was like, okay. They had some story about how
it means the same thing.
Yeah, it's fine because there's a guy in transition. So when he's out of this office, then you can move in there and your pay is going to change. It didn't work out that way. But in my interview, the first thing I told him was like, the first time I don't get paid, it's like, I'm gone. He's like, we have never not paid anyone. Everyone's always got their money. I'm like, I left $13,000 on the table when I left that company. Jason probably a little bit more.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good times.
Every once in a while, I'll still get a call from a homeowner. Like, I got people, I started in July. There are people that were calling me this year, July, with still no roof being done yet.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Now, could you get them as a client then?
So they're really shady people because
this is the one that's kind of still in business.
Yes, I can't say too much, but they're really shady. The contracts they have are just unreal. Basically, when you sign that, they can do whatever the heck they want, however long it takes them to get it done. Doesn't matter. And if you go to walk away from it, you're paying 30% to get out the contract. So I had a buddy. It was my first roof with that company, actually. Inspected his home, tons of damage. Mm-hmm. This was, I want to say mid-July. He finally got them to give him money back. They wrote him a check. He went to the bank to deposit it. They're like, or to cash it. They're like, it was with Chase Bank. So they saw the amount. He's like, there's not enough. And it was only $6,000. So it wasn't like it was a huge roof. But didn't have the money in there to clear. So he drove back to the office and was like, hey, they told me I can't cash this because there's no money. He's like, oh, well, I'll write a check from this account. He went back 2 more times and still, but finally he got his money back a week later. He's like, the only way I'm taking it is if it's cash or an official check because
this is crap.
These checks are horrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy stuff. But I felt so bad. A friend of mine, I thought I was helping him out and to get him a roof. And, I mean, I was going to make a little bit of money. He was going to get a roof for insurance proceeds because of all the storm damage. But a year later, he still doesn't have it done.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. Horrible.
So now, you know, there are probably a lot of guys and maybe some women too that are your age or younger that are probably thinking, man, I can start my own business in this. What kind of advice would you give them if they decided to do it?
Just go for it and plan everything out, but just go for it and
get a kick-ass website with a dashboard.
I was getting ready to say, get a hold of people like you because I'm trying to start a business. The last thing I wanted to do was sit on a computer to try to create a website, and I had no idea what I was doing. So I'd rather just focus on my business and get things going.
Yeah.
And when you guys took over, I mean, you even made business cards, designed them for us. It was like the nicest thing ever. Like once we had all that, it was so much easier for us to just focus on work.
Yeah.
Well, I could put my roof on.
Yeah.
I'm not incapable. I don't want to.
That would be funny.
Yep.
I can do it. I got a kick-ass set of tools.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Your roof's pretty steep. I didn't realize it was that steep. So
I've been on the garage, but you know, you need another ladder to get up to the next level, and I'm like, I don't need to be up there.
So that's why we don't ever have Christmas lights.
100%. I don't want to be up there.
We do have the boys go out on like that one little ledge that's over the porch, and it always makes me nervous anyway, but they'll go out the window and do that. But so that's my excuse for not having many Christmas lights.
Yeah, it's pretty steep. It's a steep pitch. I was looking at the insurance paperwork when we got it, and I was like, man, I didn't realize. Jason's like, yeah. He's like, he told me to go up there and paint that thing for him. He's like, I ain't going up there. He's like, it's too steep. He's like, I ain't doing that.
Well, yeah, and that's like 3, almost 4 stories high on the back on the top of the chimney.
Yeah.
With a dugout basement. That's a long way down.
That is a long way
That's
down.
what Jason, there was one house he was on, and it was, he said he was the most scared he's ever been, but it was a huge house, and they had a dugout area for the basement. So it was like 3 floors.
Yeah, that's what that is
3
back
stories,
there.
Yes. He's like, man, he goes, I didn't know what to do. He's like, if
3,
I fell, that's 3.
That's 3 full stories and then higher because you're going up the top of the chimney.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost 4 stories.
Yeah. Crazy.
I
don't blame you. That's why I haven't painted it either.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we ask everybody, this is a perfect time that, do you have any questions for us in regards to, your marketing or, anything out there?
No, I mean,
in that realm.
The thing with you guys is anytime I have a question, you answer it right away. You help. You send me stuff all the time to help me out, just little tidbits here and there. And the marketing stuff, you made it pretty simple to kind of understand because I was kind of lost, and you broke it down pretty easily for me. I don't know how to do it, the marketing stuff, so I'll leave that to you guys. But
it can get confusing.
I don't even want to think about it because
one of the most common things we hear from any business owner is I just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I've tried this, I've tried that. I posted a post, I've tried Facebook ads, it just didn't work. Well, I mean, there's a lot to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, you got to do something. You can't just sit back and wait.
Right. Man, I just lost my train of thought. I had a question for you, now I forget.
Dang it.
Sorry.
Pat.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. What else? What else can we talk about? Oh, I know. I got one. Local vibes. I mean, we created this because, of course, we believe in local businesses since we are one as well. And we believe a lot of local businesses are getting screwed nowadays, and especially because everything's made in China. So we try our best to get as much as we can from local businesses and local stores and things like that. Almost anything I buy, even if it's on Amazon, I try to buy from small companies, basically because we're proud to be American. And truth be told, our website can only be seen in America. We have blocked all other countries.
Really?
Yeah.
Nobody's ever going to buy it, but
right.
That's where all the crap comes from.
Yeah.
The bots and the scams.
Not that I don't love other countries, but I believe, especially nowadays, we need to be proud of what we have here. So what makes you proud to be American?
Jeez.
Wow.
I know.
Put me on the spot.
Wow.
Hey.
You better not say you're not.
Hey.
I have no idea.
Well, you get to, here you go. We get to actually create our business and start a business easily. Where else? I mean, it's a lot harder to do that anywhere.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, that's the freedom of being able to do pretty much whatever you want to. I don't know how to word what I want to say.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
But I was looking at I'm not getting into politics or anything.
No.
But I was watching a Facebook thing about those people parachuting into.
Yeah.
Insane to me, and I was thinking. I mean, I take a lot over here for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we all do.
Because there's a lot of craziness in the world, and yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, and coming together and everybody trusting other small businesses and just other people that we all need to do good to each other and good
and
for each other.
I mean, a lot of what local vibes means is keeping the money in your local area wherever it's at. And that's not the politics side of it, but if you go to Target, you're buying shit made in China, that the profits go to Target, that's owned by BlackRock and all these other companies that don't have local interests at heart, and you're using your credit card, which means 3.5% is going to some other huge corporation. I hate that. I use my credit card all the time. I keep telling go, shop small, use cash, because the local businesses, contractors, almost all of them are local. You guys spend your money locally. You're not big corporate. So that's honestly what Local Vibes is growing locally, keeping your money locally. And that's how we help that, because if we can help the local guys succeed, we know, just like what you said, you are an entrepreneur. You figured out how to do it yourself. You lead other people, which means you guys keep the community stronger. That's honestly what we believe.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So you're Dublin?
Yeah.
Right. What do you do? I know you got a lot of kids stuff probably. Where do you hang out locally? What's the local stuff you do? Who's got the local vibes in your life, in your area?
The Old Hilliard, it's right down the street. I live off Avery Muirfield. So they have like a little splash pad, like a local cantina. I don't think that's what it's called, but it's like a smaller Mexican type restaurant. We go down there and walk a lot. There's like a little beer garden they have set up with food trucks that come in.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's all on a smaller scale. It's all local stuff.
Local. Yeah, it's kind of how we got here, because we like going to this mom and pop stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We can go to Longhorn anytime, but I'd rather go to the mom and pops.
Man, we just got back from Myrtle Beach, and I ate like crazy down there. I ate so much. But there's a restaurant called Blueberries. I've never heard of it before. I think it's a super nice, fancy place, but the food was just unreal. And it's a really big place. I can't really explain it. It's good.
Blueberries,
yeah.
Like what kind of cuisine do they have?
So we went for breakfast, and I got crab cake Benedict.
Oh, I saw a picture of that.
Yes.
Your mom shared it or
Yeah.
something like that. Oh, yeah, that did look
I went there
so
3 times.
good. That's the kind of breakfast food that we like.
Well, it makes me think, even going back before we even did what we currently do, I think it was before I was still a boat mechanic. We went to Myrtle Beach.
Oh, yeah.
With my family, and I had aunt and uncle that had gone there for years. We had never gone. And I mean,
and we're honestly, out of college, right out of college.
Just dating. And we hadn't had a vacation forever. We go all the way to Myrtle Beach with my family. They had been gone. I was in college, so I wasn't going with my family. So what's for dinner tonight? Oh, we're going to Applebee's.
We're like,
the hell I am.
We're not.
And then it's like Saturday night's Pizza Hut night. I'm like, no, I did not drive all the way here to eat. And that's
if we get pizza, it's got to be with some place that.
Let's go find the local.
Yeah, like a small, yep.
And that's, I mean.
And we did. We were trendsetters.
I mean, look where we are now. I mean, I've never put that together, but that's literally what we did. And they followed us because I'm not going to Applebee's. Yeah. We're going to go find someplace else. But they did that every year. Monday, they go to Applebee's. Tuesday, they go to Pizza Hut.
Crazy.
Yeah. They had a couple local ones in there. The breakfast was local, but I'm like, no.
Yeah, and the worst
part.
And
if we've been there, we're probably not going to go again until we've tried other things.
The only problem is, one of the worst parts is we had one of, back when I was eating more desserts, we had, somebody had chocolate key lime pie, and we, to this day, cannot remember where it was that we had it. It was the best key lime pie. It wasn't like chocolate covered. It was actually chocolate key lime pie, and we've never been able to recreate it.
It sounds amazing.
It was. It really was, I promise.
One of my close friends, I went to school with him. He lives in Myrtle Beach. So we actually stopped by his house before we went to our condo. He's like, yeah, you guys want to go get lunch? Very similar thing. I forget what he said. It was such a change. I'm like, Eric, we did not come down here. And then he started talking about, well, they don't have White Castle down here and something else, like Tim Hortons. There's not a Tim Hortons. I was like, we're not eating at any main chain restaurant.
Coffee, when we, that's a big thing that I do love to go do, is when we go to a new town or back to the old town, because we go to St. Pete a lot. I have to find different coffee shops, and I've got to find the best one. And it ain't going to
be Starbucks.
Right.
Ever. The only time I ever have Starbucks now is if I'm in the airport, because that is the only option that's there. Yeah. And so I'll get it, but otherwise I don't go.
Well, that's our local vibes. Ever. I'm not saying I never go, but if I can go local first, I'm going to pick local first. It's just the way I feel better about it.
Same here.
Yep.
You guys go to like farmers markets and stuff that they have?
Not enough.
We don't anymore, since I don't eat. Since I typically don't eat vegetables and stuff like that anymore. So we don't
sell bison there.
That's true. We do need to go. I do eat pickles, and I do like to go. Do you ever have those? Man. The pickle guy or whatever?
They have a farm market in Hilliard, and the line to get
pickles,
probably the same guy as here.
It's got to be.
Get the big buckets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's this line after. I'm like, Ada. She's like, I want some pickles, Dad. I was like, honey, that's a 25-minute wait. I was like, why don't we get a snow cone over there? So she was fine with that, but yeah, they look so good, though.
They're so good. Have you ever had them?
I don't think I have.
Oh my gosh.
He's got tons of them.
Yeah, they're so good.
I love pickles.
So good. So do we.
That's one of the things I think about business guy. Hey, pickles.
I know.
You find a good recipe, there's people standing in line for pickles. You can't tell me you can't figure something out. Go start a business.
Insane.
Oh, yeah. Can you? Hey, I mean, I can't even imagine. Hey, honey, I'm going to start a pickle business.
I already got the name. The Pickle Chick. Let's go.
I told Jason he makes pickles, and I guess they're really good. I'm like,
really?
Dude, start it up. That's something easy for you to do. He has a huge garden.
A friend of ours, their son is part of a company that they do candied jalapenos. And those are really good.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds good. I'm hungry now.
Yeah, I know. That's probably not a good thing.
Well, we're right at an hour. We can.
Yeah. I think that.
We hit it all.
Good. I think
you got no questions?
No.
And you're so happy with Justine.
So
everything's good, yeah.
Good.
Somebody that's thinking about needing website, system, marketing, what do you tell them?
contact you guys, Local Vibes.
That was easy.
Yeah, it was. Cool.
Good deal. It's a little weird for me. I think I have to do a couple of these to feel comfortable.
It gets easier.
I kept getting antsy, and I don't know why. I normally don't get real jittery.
Yeah, you're worried about your throat, your cough.
Yes,
and
that's why you're jittery.
Not to mention your beard and your hair. Jesus Christ, you could have gotten cleaned up for this.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, okay.
We can be. It's weird because you can just get off on tangents and you figure out that's what Rogan does.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
that's why I try. I looked at it just when it just goes where it goes.
Yeah,
just have a chat. We could have done a podcast in Three Tigers. That would have been great.
That would have been cool.
We had a little more politics in there, but
with these we could do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise we couldn't because
that's why I was just saying
loud.
The conversations we had just kind of went all over the place.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That place is good.
It is good.
We were back after that, but we haven't been in a while.
I've gone a couple times. There's across the street in the main drag, there's a cidery that is really cool. It's a really cool building. Actually, another one of our clients is the one that designed it, the architects, and it's definitely not as big as I thought it was, but it's a cool little place. Granville's got all kinds of cool little things.
I love that place. If I could afford to live there, I probably would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool. That's one of the things that
Thanks for listening to the Local Vibes podcast, brought to you by localvibes.us, where we help small business owners like you build the ultimate system that generates more leads, phone calls, and most importantly, more customers. Join our community by going to localvibes.us and add your business to our directory. You'll also find live discussions, tips, podcasts, videos, and just plain real talk on how you too can be more successful online.